Hi everybody, Rechief here, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path, episodes 1 through 5 beta. Last time we were taking a look at this body. This time I guess we're going to keep doing that? Is there really anything else that we need to look at here? No, I guess not. What about her face? Do we look at her face? Whoops. I reconfigured some buttons, and I'm having trouble remembering which things those do. Okay, yeah, we did look at that. We looked at the corsage, I think. We might have to deduce some stuff. It really wants us to deduce some things. Can we deduce anything right now? Can we deduce anything right now? Let's see. Okay, so the candelabra matches the victim's chest wounds. I feel like we don't need to, like, present this to the chest wounds, since that's already in the description. But you never know with this game. Sometimes you have to do some stupid stuff to progress. Alright. Let's come back to that in a hot second. How you guys doing?
You sonnies want something? Is what she says.
Miss Jensen, could you tell me about your relationship with Dr. Young?
Yes. Ever since I was little, I've always been together with Granny. Whenever I got lost, she would search for me until it got dark. And whenever I felt down, she would watch over me until I could get up on my own. Fell down. Whoops. Whenever I fell down, she would watch over me until I could get up on my own.
What a charming story. She sounds like quite the grandmother's child.
And after I became a nurse, whenever I'm about to make a mistake with my injections, "Not there, there," she'd say, as she'd grab the needle.
Ouch! Just hear it hurts, pal. Please keep those stories to yourself.
Anyways, as long as I have Granny by my side, there's no nursing I can't do.
I see. I fully understand. Thank you for your cooperation. Regardless of her charming story, they do seem to share a very close-knit bond.
Dr. Young, you sure are a masterful coroner, pal. You work with such blinding speed, and you make no wasted movements.
What do you sonnies know about autopsies? You don't know the first thing about my work.
Allow me to apologize for his rudeness. I'll be sure to reprimand him later.
Listen up, young'un. It is my duty to perform the autopsy quickly and accurately. That's why I have no patience with those who get in the way of my work, is what she says. Are you satisfied?
Yes, very much so. We only wish to investigate. We have no desire to get in your way. Looks like Dr. Young's stubbornness comes from a devotion to her work.
The Dai Young Hospital's a splendid hospital, and Granny's in charge of it. Well, how about it? Would you like to be admitted and experience it for yourself? That's right. Right now there's an opening in our hospital suite with the outdoor spa.
We are in good health. There is obviously no need for us to be hospitalized.
That's right. We're perfectly healthy, pal. That's our soul redeeming feature.
Just what does he mean by that?
Well, you see, the Dai Young Hospital also accepts healthy patients. We're currently in the middle of our Full of Life Healthy Hospital Stays campaign.
This is a good game.
Those without injury or illness can stay at our hospital for half the price.
Why would you need to stay at a hospital if you're healthy?
This is the chance of a lifetime, so what do you say? Hospital stay. Hospital stay.
You know, an outdoor spa at half price does sound like a good deal. Don't fall for it.
Alright, let's see. Can we present anything to these guys?
I'm really glad we found Kay's father.
I'm an acquaintance of hers. I'm not her father.
What? Then what about that business card?
I doubt there are many children who carry around their parents' business cards.
But I carry one around. Granny's, I mean. So surely... Ouch! I don't give a hoot how you're related. You took her in, so you'd better take good care of her.
Of course, that was my intention. Kay is in good hands.
That's tied up pretty well, that frilly thing of yours.
I would like you to look at this piece of evidence rather than my clothes.
Not interested, she says. I can't say I'm very interested either.
Perhaps I should try presenting a different piece of evidence. Okay.
The victim was stabbed in the chest with that. See, there are 3 stab wounds in the chest, right?
Could you tell me the cause of the wound on the head?
Sorry, we don't really know that. Although we are certain that it happened post-mortem.
Which means it may have occurred when the culprit moved the body. It would be nice if some evidence were to turn up. Yeah, I agree. Okay. What's this again? Grand Tower Viewing Platform. Well, if we really need to, we can come back to them later. What's happening, Kay? Or are you just gonna say, like, all the stuff you said earlier? Okay, yes, you are. I don't think we presented anything to you.
The person in the red raincoat really was there.
Are you sure that they were walking towards you from behind the stand?
That's right. They walked straight up to me. There must be some evidence. Maybe that person left footprints behind.
There is no ground behind the stand. No one could have walked there.
Then, was that person a ghost?
There are no such things as ghosts.
Oh. Is this one of those so-called contradictions? Do you like badges, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not particularly.
But you're always carrying around badges.
It is just a part of my job. And this badge is also a piece of evidence.
I see. So you carry around things that you don't like in order to train and strengthen your spirit.
That is just clearly wrong. I agree.
I was carrying this, right? I don't remember anything about it, though.
So you really don't remember? Not even a little bit?
Well, maybe I just grabbed it without thinking due to the shock of losing my memories. You know, like they say, grasping at straws. What's wrong? You have an awfully serious look on your face.
I won't tell you to be silent, but you should think before talking.
I see. I will keep that in mind.
Harsh, Edgeworth.
I am terribly sorry. Even if you give me that, I still don't remember anything about you.
No, I wasn't planning on giving it to you. Okay, so yeah, we're already kind of run through our stuff with her. Edgeworth's our partner. Is the investigation going well?
Sir, I am actually putting my job aside to do some brain training. By focusing on images instead of words, you can stimulate your right brain.
Please
please stop talking.
I think we already got everything we... Oh, whoops. No, we don't want to talk to the table. We want to talk to Franziska. Okay, yeah. Right, we already presented a bunch of stuff to her. We don't really have any logic we can do. We obviously can't, like, leave. I feel like we already checked this area out pretty thoroughly, but... I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. Okay, so I feel like obviously the thing that we have to do is go back to the body, and we have to present some piece of evidence. We have to, you know, deduce in such a way that we'll be able to move on. I can't remember if last time we got like a positive idea on who this person was. If we didn't, I feel like it's probably the person who wrote this letter. Did we... Oh, fuck, I didn't mean it. Why not? Let's just see if he's like, oh, clearly this is Jill. Eureka! Detective Gumshoe, look at this piece of evidence. Okay, obviously not.
Is there something wrong with that piece of evidence, sir?
Doesn't this piece of evidence have a connection with the situation of the crime scene?
I don't think it's connected at all, sir.
Ah! So I was wrong.
You should look at the evidence you have on hand again, sir.
Indeed, there might be something that is connected to the crime scene. Okay. Wait a minute. Was this a key card? I'm not gonna have score. Yes, sir. There's a why not? It must be the good. Oh, it's a key card. The question is. Okay, so I guess that's where I got the key card from. Yep, yeah. Could have just looked at that first of all, but you know, whatever. Oh, okay. Okay. I take it that this corsage was torn off. Yeah. The purple flower Kay had with her. I wonder if that originally belonged to the victim.
Now that you mention it, the cloth does look the same as the one on the pin.
Yes. Let's compare them without delay.
It's a perfect match, sir. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth.
Purple flower data updated in my organizer. The fact that this flower belongs to the victim means... that can only mean that Kay Faraday came in contact with the victim. And about that corsage, it looks like it was forcibly ripped off. There is a possibility that Kay Faraday is connected to this case. And depending on the situation, we may have to consider her as a suspect.
What did you say? There's no way she did it. It's unthinkable. Kay could never do that, sir.
However, it's true we have no evidence to deny that claim. Aw. It's nothing more than a possibility at the moment. Isn't that right, Miles Edgeworth? Indeed. For better or for worse. Okay. Oh, good. That was all we had to do. So, the victim's identity remains unknown. Should you really still be calling me Kay?
Of course! What are you saying, pal?
Thank you. But then, what about that woman? She is someone who you may have killed. That's all we know.
There's no way that's true. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
I also do not believe you killed her. You are such a naive man, Miles Edgeworth. Oh no, who is this? That voice.
So don't be afraid. The best prosecutor is here today. Pardon the interruption.
Mr. Edgeworth, get away from the victim. I have inherited her dying wish. No one asked for you.
Did you know the victim?
Just as I thought. The goddess of law will surely reveal the truth to us, so please rest in peace.
That's right, Justine. Now that I'm here, everything will be A-okay. The culprit will rue the day he crossed paths with me. My name's Edgeworth. Who is this fool of a man?
Oh, Francisca's great.
Why is she glaring at me?
You are Francisca von Karma, am I correct? I apologize for my late introduction. I am Justine Courtney. And the deceased individual is...
Attorney Jill Crane, one of the members of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee.
Cool, so it is Jill. I see. So that's why she had the key card. I take it you're in charge of this case.
That's right. And with me in charge, this case is as good as...
That reminds me. I haven't caught your name yet.
If you just wanted to know my name, you didn't have to...
Just state your name. I will not tolerate any unnecessary remarks.
Sebastian de Best.
It seems the pecking order has been decided.
Mr. Sebastian the Best, here, this is from Granny.
This is the autopsy report. It seems you've been bested, Mr. Edgeworth.
This wasn't a competition to begin with.
My job is done. May we meet again in front of another corpse. May we meet again in front of another corpse. Okay, let's go home quickly and eat some noodles. I'll be leaving too. Take care, everyone.
The victim's head wound was post-mortem.
Sebastian.
And the candelabra dealt the fatal blow. Estimated time of death is late last night. What is it, Justine?
While I do appreciate your enthusiasm, perhaps you should give your tongue a rest. You might pull a muscle.
That would be painful indeed. Autopsy report jotted down in my organizer.
Anyways, it's quite clear now. Kay Faraday must be arrested. What? What's the big idea, pal?
It's just as he says, Detective. The culprit is Ms. Kay Faraday, the young lady in bandages over there, although she's not wearing her usual attire. Are you not Miss Kay Faraday?
And what would you do if she is Kay? If you're going to arrest her, then I will resist by any means necessary. That I guarantee you.
I am now convinced. The doubts surrounding your suitability as a prosecutor were indeed warranted. It's fine, Mr. Edgeworth. You can go. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
What are you saying, Kay? You can't just go along with them, pal.
But I don't remember anything. What if I really did kill that woman, and then forgot about it? If that's true. Acknowledgement is the goddess's mercy. Atonement is her will. The goddess of law will surely praise you for your prudence.
Sebastian, and Judge Courtney, if you believe she is the culprit, on what basis do you make your accusations? Unless I'm completely convinced by your explanation, I will not obey your orders.
Fine, have it your way. Now sit tight and listen to the perfect reasoning of De Best. I am the best in the world. No one else can do what I do. Yes, that's why I was the first to realize that Kay Faraday is the culprit. She broke into the meeting room in order to steal something. In other words, she's the only one who could have killed Ms. Crane.
His logic's as awful as ever, sir. Harsh words, coming from you, detective. I asked for some basis to your claims, yet your reasoning has told me absolutely nothing. However, we have no evidence to prove she didn't do it either.
Don't worry, Kay. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth will pull off a miracle.
You think my deductions are some kind of miracle work? You'd better not disappoint me. Understand, Miles Edgeworth? Because if you do, this whip of mine won't stay silent. Alright. Let's rebut.
I am the best in the world. No one else can do what I do.
Hold it!
Already, I've noticed 2 contradictions in your testimony.
My reasoning is flawless. It doesn't contain even a single contradiction.
The number of contradictions has just increased to 3.
Oh, I get it. This is all a part of your plan to mislead me, isn't it? Well, too bad. Because the best will not be led astray. Yes, that's why I was the first to realize that Kay Faraday is the culprit.
Hold it!
If you believe Kay is the culprit, then I would like to hear the basis for your reasoning.
Just sit back and be in awe of my brilliant deductions. Nothing escapes the watchful eye of the best. Before I had even laid eyes on the crime scene. No, before I was even aware of this case. Yes, I knew that she was the culprit. Ouch!
Basis of your reasoning.
Yes, ma'am. Well... She broke into the meeting room in order to steal something.
Hold it!
To steal something? Steal what exactly?
That's,
What Kay Faraday tried to steal was a file. Its contents, to be exact, an investigation report regarding Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you have any evidence to prove she needed something like that? I am not the one who needs to present evidence. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
Yes. I suppose that may be true. Well, at any rate, Sebastian, please continue your reasoning.
in other words, she's the only one who could have killed Miss Crane.
Hold it!
Do you have any evidence to prove that no one else but Kay could have committed the crime?
Nope.
Sebastian, let me tell you what would be the best thing for you to do. Look into any other possible suspects besides Kay. Right now. Post haste.
The best thing for me to do? Look into any other possible suspects.
According to the preliminary reports, there were no traces of anyone else besides her.
Even so, isn't it too premature to declare that she's the culprit?
Declaring that she isn't so early into the investigation is a little premature as well, is it not?
If only I had evidence that could prove Kay's innocence. Good grief. There is a limit to how much you can falsely accuse someone.
It's fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
You don't have to... Fear not, Kay. The truth will be revealed soon enough.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Kay couldn't have murdered Miss Crane. If I could just prove that, she'll be cleared of suspicion. Okay. She's the only one who could have killed Miss Crane. I feel like this is our thing. This is what we got to present here. And we just have to show that somebody else could have done it. Really, a lot of the stuff that we have just kind of ties Kay to this murder, which is not great. Oh, I didn't realize we could take a look at this. This is the badge that Kay is always wearing. It's emblazoned with the mark of the Yakuras, and it really stands out. I doubt there are any thieves who would actually wear it. Oh, can't even examine the back. Guess they just gave us a cool little model to look at for no reason. Only one who could have killed Miss Crane. Broke into the meeting room in order to steal something. Well, I mean, it could be that he thinks she stole the purple flower. Maybe I have to make that clearer. Let's try that. Nope. Mr. DeBest, there is a contradiction in your statement.
Is that true, Justine?
It is not, Sebastian. It is Prosecutor Edgeworth's statement that is contradictory.
Of course. There's no way there could be a contradiction in my argument. Isn't it full of contradictions?
My real problem is her rather than Mr. DeBest. She broke into the meeting room in order to steal something. In other words, she's the only one who could have killed Miss Crane. Like, obviously there are problems with his statements. I'm just not sure what evidence I have on hand that I could use to kind of refute what he's trying to say. But everything I'm coming up with is kind of half-assed. Like, I could say... Maybe this? No. Mr. DeBest, what do you think about this piece of evidence? I was kind of thinking, like, well, anyone who had a key card could have done it. Obviously, that wasn't what they wanted.
Why are you asking for my opinion?
Don't you see? This evidence contradicts your testimony.
What?
I don't believe this evidence has that kind of meaning.
Is that right?
With Judge Courtney here...
Also, you don't need to yell objection so loudly. Just showing evidence will suffice.
You don't need to tell me that. But apparently you do. Okay. Only one who could have killed Miss Crane. How am I supposed to prove that she isn't the only one who could have killed Miss Crane with what I've got going on here? Dang. Oh, hey, there's more stuff here. The victim's body was discovered in the PIC meeting room. The estimated time of death is sometime between late last night and midnight. Cause of death was a stab wound to the left chest with candelabra. Victim's hand. Motherfucker. Yeah. Well, I really thought that was going to be it. Okay. So it said in the autopsy report that the victim was killed from late last night to midnight. 1928, that's pretty late, so I feel like we couldn't go away with saying, like, clearly she entered the viewing tower at an earlier time. This feels like such a stretch, but maybe I have to say, like, Kay couldn't have done it because she was in the viewing tower and the PIC building is a floor lower. Okay, no. I figured that wouldn't work. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, so... Like, I definitely want to at least get through this part before I do, before I end the episode. But I feel like at this rate I'm just going to deplete all of my, like, life force by presenting stupid shit. Yeah, that just ties Kay to it. That's not proof that someone else could have killed her. Oh my god. Oh, okay, never mind. There was a pause and I thought the music had ended there, and I was going to say, like, how could that possibly work? Only one who could have killed Miss Crane. Well, I guess I'll just do that classic Phoenix Wright thing where I present a bunch of weird stuff.
3,000 years later.
I am back now. I did a big cut because I spent a long time presenting a bunch of stupid evidence at the wrong parts of this testimony. Turns out that I had the right idea. The idea that I had was like, how could she possibly have gotten in without the key card? And I tried presenting the key card on his last statement, and that didn't work. You were actually supposed to present it on this statement.
Objection!
Not my favorite testimony that I have rebutted, but whatever. It certainly sounds like you are quite familiar with this room.
The best man for the job should know all about the best places.
Unfortunately, it seems that you are not the best man for the job.
Are you mocking me?
That's for you to decide. You didn't even know about this key card, did you?
Of course I know about that. You needed to enter this room. Huh? Was it really needed? This foolish fool simply doesn't know when to give up. Ouch!
Sebastian, do you really suspect Kay?
That's right. She's the only one who could have done it.
Well then, allow me to ask you. Since this room can only be entered by using a key card, how did she enter the room without it?
Well, she probably used this and that and...
Yeah, you know, Sebastian, I was thinking the same thing, and that's why I tried to present this key card when you were talking about how no one but Kay could have committed this crime. Unfortunately... whatever. I'm not bitter. Oh, did you pull a muscle? Allow me to explain then. The door could only be opened by members of the PIC, which means... Yes, that's correct. She conceded so easily. Take a look at this. It's a record of the room that I it's a record of this room that I investigated just a while ago. At 12:52 a.m., the door was opened using Ms. Crane's keycard. Keycard record jotted down in my organizer. It's probable that the killer entered the room together with the victim, Ms. Crane. After entering, the situation must have soured, leading to the murder. Your logic holds, but it is still merely conjecture. And it would imply that the killer and the victim were acquainted.
No way, pal. Kay doesn't even know the victim.
Yeah, she does. That is merely an assumption on your part, unless you have any evidence to prove your claim. Evidence is everything in court and at the crime scene. Without it, your argument is invalid. In that case, I trust that you have evidence to prove that Kay Faraday and the victim were connected. Of course.
What?
This letter was discovered by Dr. Young in Miss Crane's breast pocket. The victim's belongings? Why did she withhold such vital evidence until now? Could it be she was waiting for the perfect time to reveal it? Come to think of it.
And the candelabra dealt the fatal blow. Estimated time of death is late last night. What is it, Justine?
While I do appreciate your enthusiasm, perhaps you should give your tongue a rest.
You might pull a muscle. I'll read it for you. To Miss Crane, thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. Kay. In other words, Kay Faraday and Miss Crane were accomplices. They probably planned to steal something from this room.
Preposterous!
Wait, that means the main culprit is... It's still Kay Faraday, of course. It just means her crimes have increased by yet one more.
Victim's letter jotted down in my organizer.
I'm the main culprit?
Don't believe her, Kay. It's all a bunch of nonsense. There's no way Kay would do something like that.
Nonsense. Not at all. The evidence speaks for itself, wouldn't you agree?
I knew that they wouldn't suspect Kay unless they had some sort of proof, but I think they would actually have such decisive evidence.
Nicely done, Justine.
Thank you very much.
Your explanation is still insufficient. I cannot accept such an argument.
Sebastian, would you please leave this to me?
All right. Make sure you shut Mr. Edgeworth up once and for all.
I can't allow their allegations to gain any more momentum. I must turn it around here. But actually, we'll be turning it around on the next episode of Ace Attorney Investigations. Prosecutor's Path, Miles Edgeworth, whatever. Episodes 1 through 5 beta. Hopefully that time, we won't waste almost the entirety of our life bar trying to prove an idiot wrong. Yes.